tenacity. I know that Solari would want me to hit on the harsh story going into this. Now, remember, BDSA are on the red side. That's what we were told last minute. We talked about the Callisto B1s. That comes through for BDSA's team. I'm getting French in my ear. Ooh. No, it's okay. You don't have to apologize, production. Thank you very much. It is a very sexy language, and it is, you know, maybe going to be a very sexy series coming through. That Callisto actually taken away. Rumble from Genax as well. I mean, these are some of the counter picks, or at least some of the big pocket picks we mentioned at the start of this.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw Callisto Varus. Ash usually is picked, but that's been taken away. Jinx is up. Talia is up. These are the picks that I'm looking at. Very high presence picks in this tournament so far.
Fiora ban.
Yeah,
right.
there it goes.
What universe? In case we B1 Fiora. Like, what is this team? IG Young
I love
or
Prime.
what?
I love Prime.
Oh, my God.
No,
so you mentioned Talia. That's a good one. There it is, locked in.
Yep.
But response, 1-2. We know what the R1, R2 normally is for BDS Academy. What are we looking at?
I think it's got to be Jinx. I think you take it away. Otherwise, you can open up yourself to Orbit Anonymo, taking Jinx plus Talia and a reset composition, just a one-shot with that instant duo, stuff like Jinx Vi, which has been banned. But yeah, you've got to deny that.
Yeah, okay, so Jinx locked in. Also, Lulu is something as well. We might see in the 1-2.
Depending on the lane swap shenanigans that we see. I think BDSA, they could do well lane swapping here if they really want to commit to it. This team, they haven't done many lane swaps, though.
Both of them haven't, right? Like, it's been few and far between. That's, again, why we're kind of excited coming into today because these are teams that, again, can show flexibility. That was a solid moment of not seeing Rammus.
Yeah. I'm just I'm dreading any kind of Scion pick, and I'm just like, I'm clenching, seeing, are they going to lock Scion with Jinx? You know? But they haven't so far. They could still build into it, depending on what they want to go. Right now, they can do some sort of pairing if they want to. This volley is actually a denial pick for a pairing with Talia because they set each other up so well. Yep. It also just works really well as an early game jungle for Skumon.
And I mean, we've seen Skumon on it before as well, right? So a comfort pick, I'll say, to add into that. Now, Zyra Khan is a possibility here.
This is building blocks for a lot of single target, and we know Orbit Anonymo loves Zyra Rakan. It gets free scaling into the Jinx as well.
Okay,
which is what
they lock in Poppy.
And they lock in Poppy. A little bit of a curious one.
Your face is like, man, Zyra Khan, lock it in.
Yeah,
here we are.
That is a strange one. Maybe it's a preemptive pick, just in case you want to go Rakan plus the Jinx. You know, you pick it to deny that kind of pairing. But it is a little bit of a weird one. I suppose you can Poppy W the volley Q. There's like a mini dash in it. But it isn't the best pairing up with the Talia.
Ooh.
That's a lot of disengage, though.
But this is really good. You know what I've seen a lot from Hwei versus Poppy, and of course not going to be in the same lane if it's not going to be support. The fear as well as Poppy starts running in. Massive CC chain. Poppy can't get the engage, and it's something as well that can be really irritating. So Hwei going to get locked in here instead of something like the Orianna, instead of maybe the support matchup as well. We've had a very different style of draft, and this is what we're expecting coming in, that these teams are very versatile.
Yeah. I think for R4, for the side of BDSA, you're not looking at Rakan. You can't play Rakan into this. Into Talia, Poppy, I think you're going to have a really hard time, even though it's so good with the Jinx. And then you're definitely, almost definitely, going for a counter pick for BDS coming on for top lane. I think you've got no choice.
So do you think that Hwei's support or mid then? Because I mean, answering the question, you're saying no Rakan.
I think it's mid.
I think it needs to be mid.
It's a very good matchup. Control mages are generally really good into Talia because you can trade through the wave, right? And,
range advantage as well,
exactly,
right?
Range advantage. So I don't think it's going to be a support flex. I don't think it's a great pairing with Jinx either. I think here, ironically, it's a good angle for Lulu. You banned away a bunch of hook champs, which kind of destroy a lane. There goes these lanes. And then you don't want any kind of hard engage, I don't feel like the Rakan into the Poppy, so some kind of range would be good.
Oh, Lulu banned away. Okay, so Orbit see that coming. What have you got left then?
I think, that is a good question.
Like, you know, Renata, Jinx is not a lane we normally see.
It's good for the single target burst to get that reset. So instead they're going to preserve that and get a blind pick. So what they've done is they banned away the worst counter pick into Gragas. Na is also pretty bad. They banned away Aatrox and fished for Gragas instead. But what answer do you have? He plays a bunch of Aurelia. I don't like that. He plays a bunch of Jax. I don't like that. If he's a meta player, he might do something like Zac or potentially Gnar. Cassante, I think, is just a pretty AFK lane. They could do that. Single target burst would be a Renekton. But again, you're kind of soft countering yourself in a way.
I was watching finals and I saw the carrier Poppy and I was like, oh yeah, maybe we're going to see Poppy support. Could be Poppy top though. That's a different type of flex, isn't it? Yeah,
I just don't think it's a great matchup. You kind of run yourself trying to poke down the Gragas, so I don't think it will be an interesting flex.
Poppy jungle
but
also
it's going to be the Aurelia.
They're still going to play the Aurelia. And you don't like this. We can talk about this in a second.
Yeah.
But at the very least, we know that it might be a little bit heavy through the laning phase. Let's hold on that for the time being, because I want you to break it down. I want you to walk me through R5 here for BDS Academy.
I think Alistair's really good into Rel. The problem is then it struggles, I think, into the Poppy. So they've kind of tied themselves to a hole. They can't get the isolated counter at the Rel. Then there's a Renata that comes up as a single target burst that we talked about as well.
Okay, as well. Applies some of the things that, well, I was going to say some of the things that Lulu would. I mean, 1/3 it feels like anyway. So bottom lane secure. Now you can start talking to me about how Orbit's composition works.
Right, so when you play Aurelia, what's really important, and Leader talked about this a lot, because he plays a bunch of Aurelia mid, you really want to be there on almost every single wave, because every single wave becomes this kind of neutral objective. You want to fight on these waves, so you need your jungler up top side a lot. Whether or not bot lane's going to be volatile is really, really important, because then you have to send users bot side and not be able to help top. So this matchup down bot side, you're going to get pushed in, but mostly you're probably going to be able to survive, and I want to see them help out Prime. You could send up Talia, you can send up Poppy, just help him out every single wave.
Okay, so all roads lead to top.
All roads lead to top.
You know, for BDS Academy, it's going to be curious to see how Gen X holds in the wave again. We already talked about the individual matchup, but we know we're not talking about individualities anymore, are we? We're talking about, you know, numbers advantage for Orbit.
What's important is you learn how to play around the Aurelia, not just the Aurelia player. That's why it's difficult. You have practice playing around the Aurelia. Gen X, it's an okay matchup. You're going to lose prio into the Aurelia. Generally, how Gragas lanes go, depending on if they go AP or tank. If you max Q, the more points you have in Q, the more potent your poke is going to be, and your laning gets stronger, right? But he's going to have lifesteal at that point, so I think we're going to see a game where we have perma-push bot side for BDS, and we're going to see platings down bot side versus the volatility of top side from Orbit and Onoma.
As the game goes on, I want to raise the issue of BDS Academy. What's the security like for Jinx? Because again, we have range, we have AP damage that will come through. We know we got a Flex of Bruiser from Gragas, range from the Hui here in mid. Jinx mildly unprotected outside of the bailout.
I'm looking at the Rel flanks. I'm looking at the potential Rel CC, which also sets up the Talia combos. I'm also looking at the dive from Aurelia, seeing if she can get onto that. But she does have the peel from the Renata, you know, the bailout, as well as all the disengage from the Gragas too. So there's a good amount protecting her.
Okay. There's an important question to ask, because again, we've gone a different direction in this composition, and running into game number one, we were hyped about what these two teams could provide. Reason being because their drafts can be so wacky and different. We already open up with an Aurelia. Doesn't care that it's going into the Gragas lane. Instead, we get support for the top lane to see how he can flourish. Remember about playing around the Aurelia player as well. I'll get Aragon to continue explaining that as we look towards the wave state and how it can flourish. Welcome to game number one. In our quarterfinals, we start off and we look to the road to the grand final. And for Orbit Anonymo, I have to apologize again. This would just be such a big deal if they could walk away with this series and beat the LFL second seed that many people have heard of, and that again maintains an LEC spot in their main roster.
Absolutely. And my eyes immediately are on Gen X and how well he can stonewall this Aurelia. That's his main goal. Early on, he's going to have more options with Skumon if Skumon decides to go up there to punish the Aurelia, because he's going to be incredibly aggressive. Aurelia's a champion where you have to push and you have to fight. So around your waves, if you're roaming into River, you're going to be kind of useless. So I want to see them in the early game specifically. Maybe send a gank up there. That's when Aurelia's most vulnerable.
It's calm, isn't it? I don't know if you're getting game sound as well.
I'm not getting game sound.
No,
it's almost eerie, a silent rift.
Have you ever played solo queue with no audio at all?
No, I need sound. Sound cues are so important.
Oh, they are so important. I was saying this to Solari the other day, but have you ever played with voices only? You know, nothing else? So like Lee Sin, for example, all you hear
Tarek.
is you hear Yaku. That's all you hear, but you hear nothing else. You don't even hear auto sounds. It's the most eerie thing, something I'd recommend. But hopefully that's not for you guys as well. But if it is, I'm sure it'll get fixed shortly. Anyway, trade begins. Paris using the range advantage. We already see as well. And we saw this recently. You and I doing a couple of reviews earlier on today. We saw just the power of Jinx and the range advantage plus the threat. And a lot of the 2v2 lanes just end up being good because Jinx is in them.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, right, you've got double range into melee, so naturally you're going to get
that
prio.
Also helps.
And this is why I was saying in Champion Select, it's going to be a case of how many platings can BDSA get on these pushes. You third wave crash, second wave crash into, and you just keep hitting the wave.
Ooh. Nice use of fervor, by the way. Remember, again, stacking up bonus damage. I've just been told that the audio will try to be fixed momentarily. Prime gets to shove it in this topside wave. Again, vision important too. Note that Prime sets up with the early ward in towards River and won't be threatened anytime soon because Skumont is also pathing bot.
Yep. Depending on how the trades go down bot side, we could see some kind of dive bot, but Afro Boy, we've seen this before. He adapts his clear. If they think they can find some engages down bot side, he was fishing. But depending on how the bot trades go, we could also see dives down bot with the Renata and the Volibear. Since you have the bailout, you can tank the tower exceedingly long. But it looks like Kadui's going up for a cheetah. Or not.
Afroboy just changed his path, by the way. Heads up towards top. And again, feels like you're casting at a library.
Yeah.
It's so eerie.
Wow, we're seeing that range difference in the mid lane. That matchup. Control mages generally really destroy the Taliyah, which is why we see a bunch of Taliyah early. But usually you see picks like Orianna banned because like Hwei, you have the range advantage and the trades are really, really brutal. Skumon not going to be able to find anything. I think the trade's not being good enough. Neramin is too high HP for a potential dive. So just going to settle for a crab.
We'll be spotted out on it, though. Good ward again from Orbit Anonymo. Just seeing the pathway from this enemy jungle. Going to be a bit of a lead as well. Remembering that Afro Boy, angling for bot, slowed down a little bit, clearing topside now.
Already teleport pop for Royson. There we go. Right, teleport pop for Royson. That's really, really huge because Rika doesn't need to recall at all. So any kind of chunk onto Royson now sticks. He won't be able to teleport back. So already, really, really good lane phase.
And again, something we didn't get to talk about was the level 6 from mid-jungle of BDS Academy. While not a lot of mobility, there's a lot of burst damage that comes through as well. The 1-2 punch, easy to burn something like the flash here, and for Rika setting him up on this way and snowballing, we know that the damage angle is huge.
Absolutely. And I just want to highlight, teleports across the board used for Orbit Anonymo, not only mid, but also top. Right, so general individual outplays happening right now. Like, it's going to, in the short term, this is going to feel decent for Orbit Anonymo, but they've got to use these teleport advantages in terms of the items to be able to generate leads to justify them. Otherwise, Genax, he's going to be able to trade. Trade's going to stick. He's going to be able to TP back and have a huge advantage in terms of HP.
How did that happen, Tom? How did Prime was already getting the shove in? We didn't actually get to look, so how did he have to burn the TP to get back? Is it the bounce back?
Yeah, it must have been poke on the bounce back. I think at this point, like right now, you've got 3 points Q. Maybe the poke is starting to add up.
Yeah. It really is, isn't it?
But
as you said, yeah, the points on Q do a lot. Prime at half HP. Skumond is here as well, just in the timing for the ward, but it's a little bit early. Or rather, Skumond a little bit late, I should say. So Prime going to spot him out and hold back. But look at where the wave is.
It's really rough. That ward in lane is gonna be painful as well. If Skumond wants to try and find a way round to look for a potential gank, so you can see he's kind of fishing for it. He's running up through river, but the thing is, Prime's only reprieve now. Because what Genax should do is he should recall and TP back. Is potentially finding some kind of honey fruit in a minute's time.
Oh yeah, good point. But he won't find anything in river because Skumond is there. He's starting up the grub. So this Volibear, who's well on his way to level 6, is such a threat that I think we got to talk about adaptations because it's smart to see Skumond top. When we also mentioned for Orbit and Anonymo, their priority is going to be the top lane. Bot has to absorb the pressure, and especially getting to that level 6 point, someone like Royson and Afro Boy getting towards there as well. Top should be the basket that they're trying to achieve in game 1.
Lots of resets coming in for the side of Orbit and Anonymo. This is purely individual difference. Mid lane having to reset on a really terrible wave state. Take a look at mid, right? This pings there. They want to punish the fact that Taliyah's coming back on a terrible wave state. He's going to have to overextend. I wouldn't be surprised to see a gank mid soon. Royson falling really far behind in terms of the 1v1, in terms of experience.
I mean, I'm surprised. Again, we saw the Rika bots, and, Rika really struggled. But I guess in the early game, he didn't.
That's 2 recalls, by the way. He's forced onto Royson without having to recall himself.
Yeah, wow. I mean, again, interesting in the 1v1. We're not looking at it, but we understand that Royson getting forced a little bit here. And this is crazy. I mean, BDSA are on the second objective of the game. They're drawing in Orbit Anonymo because they just picked up Grub's topside. But Skumon just ran down, takes it himself. Could be said that Rika's the one helping to do this as he gets a bit of trade onto Royce in the meantime. Handshake's nice onto
Gypsy.
Gypsy in the bottom side. Absolutely right. Neraman running in to try and get something for the trade, but there's no pullback on the feathers, and Kadui just waits for the wave to crash. So big win for BDSA in the early game.
Absolutely. A huge win for BDSA. Not having to pop anything unless something happens. But I don't think they have the levels. Gypsy's only level 3.
How's Skumon? He might be close to 6 because he's got such a big lead in jungle. Yeah, he just hit it on the Gromp there. Aragon, I mean, this is a 20 CS lead in jungle. We already talked about it before when Afro Boy tried to flex bot, slowed down a little bit. Tempo keeps increasing here for the BDSA jungler. And they're actually up 700 gold through these individual leads that you keep notating as to what happens in mid, what happens in top, and how the laning phase is going. Is now the wall knock isn't there. Good handshake back. Afro Boy just has to sit there and wait. Paris does burn the flash, but they could have found more.
Yeah, Afro Boy definitely trying to look for more in this early game. Hugely coming out for Skumon, like you said. A full wave of XP for Rika as well. Little micro-incremental leads coming out as they're going to... I think Skumon could look for a dive here. He's level 6. They have bailout. They can disable the turret and bail the volley bearer out afterwards. They
and
can dive
Boy,
for
look
so
at his
long.
position. I mean, the hammer's already out. Skewmon
Waits here
flexes
too.
around. He's waiting in brush. Rika coming in with a range advantage, and there we go. Spiraling Despair flows through the damage. Unbearable. Unbeatable, not even needed with the Super Mega Death Rocket. Rika gets up first blood, and BDSA are on the board.
It's just individual leads after individual leads. The ult coming out, volley bear not even needed, but now they can redive.
I mean, yeah, Stormbringer, how easy is that? Boy can't send them away. Again, this guy not doing too much on the Poppy and sending it up, even with the cleanse away. Kadui takes turret shot and then leaves with a kill in hand. Nariman is up next, and the feather's not flying anywhere but loose. It's a double kill, and the early game we talked about for BDS Academy, how simple is that?
Not even needing to reset the tower ramp, just ulting the tower clean as the first play. But Chipsy dies and manages to fall. I think it's just a simple clean-cut dive. There's not much to analyze. The big whale comes out, and this is off the back of Rika's individual lead. He's able to move down first.
He just doesn't expect the damage, I guess.
Yeah, it's a one-shot. I mean, the way damage really adds up.
Yeah, it does.
The teleport back with items.
I guess what happened when Ryder, like, well, we haven't given you any mobility, so everything else is
a control mage. Really, really brutal. But now the dive comes through. You ult a full non-ramp tower, so you don't get to reset the tower ramp. But still, it doesn't even matter. They're so far ahead.
Yuck. Double kill on Jinx.
Yeah. This is not a lane swap Jinx. We're getting
I was going to say, you must be happy right now we're not getting a lane swap. Like, and to be fair as well, I think things would be maybe even worse for Orbit Anonymous because this Aurelia would be put in a dangerous position. I mean, we don't have to think about that anyway because right now, the top side feels like for Orbit Anonymous still has to be the goal, right? You already mentioned Royson with Weaver's Wall needs to pay attention to that top lane. Boy now level 6-2. Something needs to be done about this top side, right? The lane needs to be played around, or otherwise Orbit Anonymous are going to go quietly into that night.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the problem is having your recall forced early as Prime, and you lose so many different opportunities. Genax is also doing a really good job of snowballing. Like, despite getting the Vamp Scepter, which is a huge spike, you're going to have to wait for Blade of the King to be able to crack that armor that Gragas has built. So, for now, I'd imagine...
Oh, might have a dive here. Flash is available. Kadui bounces, but then bounces himself. We get the Berserk that comes through as well. Again, Boy against the wall finds Kadui at half HP. They might have a kill on the Jinx. They've used everything in the kitchen sink, though, and he's still alive. On the back end, this support tries to find him, but he gets bailed out, and again, it's done. Put it in the bin. Game one is over as quickly as it's begun.
Oh, the flash forward from the Poppy. Boy tries to desperately find the stun, but the burst comes through, the bailout's there, and they just don't want to hit him because they know that the rail's going to fall. The dive, they tried to cross-map potential grub take. Royson.
No way.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
At least it's an execute.
At least it's an execute.
That could have been a 0 for 4.
See that.
But absolute disaster. Play continues. The bailout, last second. 100 HP left. Do we? That's a 4-0. That's 4 Jinx.
I mean, I meant what I said. 4.5k gold lead. Jinx, that's 4-0, as you said. Way big as well. We haven't seen a Weaver's Wall yet. We saw our first Poppy ultimate. So what is a disaster? And yeah, as an Aurelia, like looking at the rest of the map, guys, we're melting.
Guys, let's play top. Okay, so I imagine now what we could see is a cross map on this next upcoming Dragon. Play for top side, try to find a kill on this Gragas. The problem is he's so damn tanky at this point. He's gone full armor versus a Poppy Aurelia duo. So even finding a shutdown on him is going to be difficult. It feels like they're kind of running options, suffocating a little bit.
Yeah, they are. I mean, now Royston's starting to move again. Their answer is bot, always bot. Okay, no summoners, fair enough. He has cleanse available, burns at the start of the play. Royston doesn't get the seismic shut. The movement, great again. Jispy almost dies on the bottom side as Royston has to flash away. He almost died in the same spot again.
Oh, but look on the other side of the map, mid lane. Hui is just going to punish this roam.
My God.
The desperation. He can recall and TP back, Royston can, but
dangerous
that's another
spot.
play.
The range just there.
I have to cancel that.
I mean, they keep hitting bot and it keeps not working.
Desperation.
It is desperation.
It feels like they drafted Aurelia to leave in isolated scaling, which to me isn't the tech.
It's definitely not the tech.
If you want to do that, I think you had some better options, but maybe it's a champ pool issue.
Oh, nice combo. Actually,
wow.
Royston, is the Inferior dying? Spiraling Despair, I just might wait and see. The QQ connects there. The Claw not. Spiraling Despair in case it would wait for the Severing Bolt.
Oh, no.
It's an execute. Oh, my God, it's a solo kill. This is a massacre. This is disgusting. If your children are under 15, put them to bed. They should not be watching this.
Rika is absolutely 1v9ing through this lane phase. Double recall onto Royson 1 versus 1. Into being able to TP back and roam bot side. He is winning the entire map just through sheer 1v1 prowess.
And Afro Boy's just sitting bot like, hopefully this is a play where he gets time with the turret again. And I don't know what to say. 5.5k gold, two dragons picked up. They're getting all the grubs as well.
I think it's a combo onto the teleport. Get a bunch of the QW severing bolt, like you said.
The Eye of Sauron.
The Eye of Sauron.
Yes.
Feels like that. And pulled together into the ult. That was max range.
Look at severing bolt. Look at the range. He's off screen.
Yeah. Yeah, that is the most broken spell he has, by the way.
The severing bolt.
Severing bolt.
Because it does missing health, max health HP, or
it's missing. It's an execute.
It's silly.
But it just chains with the ult so well.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Jinx has got the turret. Okay. Kadui gets excited. Skumon's here. Nerriman's going to put the feathers out and flash as well. But that's just a bear running at them, and the turret going down all the same. 6.5k. Count it with me. We're at 13 minutes. And right now, I think BDSA are doing Mad Lions some justice here, as T1 did to them only recently.
But look how frustrated Prime is. He's trying to find something because he knows the rest of the map is absolutely doomed, right?
Yep.
So he's being danced on a little bit. But yeah, he tries to find the engages. You just body slam, phase rush away. So they've come in with a plan, BDSA. They know that, you know, you're going to pick some kind of carry. Let's pick Gragas, neutralize.
Yep.
And we're going to win the rest of the map because we have better players. That's what they're telling themselves.
I mean, that's how they've won other lanes as well. You know, we talked about them being an early game team. Yes, their mid-game transition is a little bit scuffed, let's be real, but their early game has been consistent throughout the tournament. They have found great laning phases, whether it's Genax holding his own or winning ahead. In this case, definitely holding off the Aurelia. The rest of the map has been great, and especially with their map movements. Rika moving down early, I think, is also going to be commended. We talked about him kind of being a little bit shallow with his ultimates on the Talia and a little bit slow. I think this game, weirdly enough, on the Hwei, he's been faster than that.
Yeah, at the very least, it shows that he's... I think I prefer him on control mages.
Yeah.
But
flash in. Hang on a minute. Should not have talked about him. He flashes away Magnastorm. Now he's just dead.
That's Casticus.
That was definitely great timing. I don't know how that happened.
Grub take. Grub take now, at least on the cross map. Lose a bunch of damage. No plates available, but objective bounty is. I think this should be a free grub take. There's no contesting. A Rift Herald, rather.
There you go. All right.
Get the one day.
Close enough. Just the mother.
Oh, no. And then you can't even take the turret because you have the teleport coming down from Genax to block any potential cross map. Prime. Take a look at Poppy there. Take a look at Poppy. Might get the stun onto the Jinx if they flash on her.
Actually, there's a big counterplay. Wait, Gragas on the bottom side. We'll ignore that for the time being because the chompers are down. Here comes Poppy. Afro Boy flashes in, doesn't hit anyone. But nothing is there. The Super Mega Death Rocket doing a little bit. Now the range from Kadui is in there. Prime sends out the Vanguard's edge, gets a bit of a reset, but it's stunned up before. Finally, Kadui drops. This Aurelia getting so close, but the team's so far behind.
30 HP on Prime. With that bailout, he would have fallen. Kadui. He just doesn't quite fall. Gets the reset, and now he can just open on the map again. That was an absolute disaster. It was a really nice creative play from Afro Boy. Sitting in that bush for as long as he did, finding the flash stun, but once again, just not enough. Prime, that was his moment. He completed Bork, he figured.
Yep.
Let's take a look at this again. Oh,
this is
something happened here. But Q comes out, the slow comes out, the chain into the body block. I mean, it's just Gragas, isn't it? Nasty.
well, that's more or less how the game's going.
Yeah. Ostrom said this was going to be a Orbit Anonymous win.
Oh, they're better.
It's a take of all time, I think.
Well, who knows what game 2 is going to be like.
True, maybe.
What did I say in mine? Did I say BDS would
I think
clear?
You did.
I think I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I said a lot of cocky things without fully knowing. I thought it would be a lot closer than I may have said in the content piece.
It felt that way. And I felt like draft-wise, they have a bunch of answers into what BDSA like to play in terms of, like, you have a bunch of dives sometimes, but BDSA showing flexibility. They're not actually drafting a lot of dive here. Peel the Kodui is the name of the game. That's what they brought to the table.
I mean, this Jinx got through. Whether it's a lane swap or not, I think Jinx right now is just a pain to deal with. But I think more so, there's Poppy struggle. Skumon, speaking of which, going to see him now. Sky Splitter there, not going to land the damage, but Afro Boy does get a big hit and does nothing in return. And they're down bot side because in 5 seconds, Chemtech Dragon is going to spawn to solve this game, and BDSA aren't going to let it go. They'll move to 3 themselves, and you can see even the range starting to come out as everyone separated. This Renata is deep, but a sidestep on the seismic shot. Beautiful to see. Even on Chispy as he jumps on in. Might regret that one because the whole team's now here. Yoinked away by Afro Boy, but it's not Kadui. He still stands there strong, and that's the person you need to disengage from. Skumon with another kill, and Dragon just like that given back into their hands.
Paris with a clean sidestep. That was that's pretty nutty. I mean, this guy's super micro intensive. You always see him making plays, whether it's on enchanters or hard engage.
So Paris is French, right? Is Paris French?
Paris is Turkish, I believe.
The irony.
Yeah.
Well, where we are right now, Prime not doing very well in the matchup.
Yeah.
Did I just get a yeah French in my ear?
Yeah, Turkish.
Yeah, Turkish, right.
From production. Just to confirm, Paris is in fact Turkish.
Okay.
I saw him in the TCL last year.
Oh, really?
And he was incredible. He would play Thresh one game, a bunch of hard engage, peel the Jinx sort of comps, and then he would play Lux, Caitlyn Lux.
Oh, really?
Super flexible as well. Always been really impressed to me.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised to see him get a shot in the LEC one day.
Okay. Well, someone to look out for. I mean, again, has had a really clean Renata game, as you said. I mean, everyone really has, haven't they? Only one catch out from Rika walking down bot into the rel. Outside of that, that's the only kill given over. It's 6.5k still. It's Soul coming up, and Royson now moves up. Chispy as well behind, and Afro Boy moving into position. Paris hit by himself, but the whole of the rest of BDSA are also on the top side of the map.
So, what do Orbit and Anonymous have going for them? Well, I don't think that BDSA can rush Baron.
Okay.
They don't have the DPS in both roles, right? They just have Jinx. So it's going to be not the fastest, like if they have Nazir. So the acceleration isn't there. They have 4 minutes time with this objective bounty.
Oh, that's a flash. Explosive cast. How badly do you want to save your turret?
I mean, Genax, that's depressing because you need all the gold you can get to contest this next Soul, right, that's coming out.
Ooh, hang on, caught out maybe.
Oh, no.
Let's see, hostile takeover is there and available though, or at least about to be from Paris. Look at the timer as the Eye of Sauron once again down. Reki using range, Mega Blast Cone separates the play. Now the hostile takeover is there, by the way. If you look at the hostile takeover logo, it looks like the Eiffel Tower with hands. Just pointing that out. Let's pause though, because Genax is back again.
Oh, Royson.
Ooh, Royson, Stormbringer down, waiting for the stun. Yoinked! Never mind. Kadui, though, still has the range. The Zap just out of range. The Death Rocket, though, sets up the reset.
And I think I have to bring it back to draft. What are you doing with the Poppy plus Talia combo? This is not a combo, and it's a blind Poppy.
True. It wasn't like it was into Callista or anything.
It wasn't into some crazy dash combination that you have. I think the only dash they had was the Volley Bear Q. So I just have to question it. It's really, really weird priorities coming from Orbits and Anonymous. I think you could have denied so much more. You could have found so much more into a blind Volley Bear, regardless. Not going to find the angles. After desperately trying this all early game. Find something, and that's why he fell behind in his clear.
Oh, yeah. By the way, just about 9k now.
Just about 9k?
At 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yeah, this one is a GG go next. And as you said, Poppy's one thing. Excuse me. I feel like, well, where else do you want to go with this? Because, I mean, they started shifting around priorities for the support.
It's an interesting one. I think you go red side, you try to get counter pick to Prime is the only one that...
It makes sense for this style of team, right?
Yeah, I mean, you B1 Talia, and it just doesn't look too hot.
No.
Right, so maybe you shake it up. I think getting counter picks, try and play that way. Pretty standard. But they've got so much control here. I think they can start Baron if they want to and turn around. They can tank Baron for absolute days with this Gragas. And they've got no one matching down bot side. So they could force a TP out from the Aurelia if they start it. I think they need to.
They need to. I mean, for the turret in the meantime, at least it's there. As you said, TP can come through. Damage from Kadui is almost at 3 items, by the way, so it's going down quick. Weaver's Wall going to separate and move into the Baron's body.
Can they keep Afro Boy out? That's the question. Genax is on guard duty here. Afro Boy can ult away Skewmon, so we've got to keep an eye on that.
Genax takes no damage, that's the thing, so he probably can. Afro Boy uses the ulti, but that's again on the Gragas, so damage done, ulti dead, and Afro Boy can't even get in before they see that the Baron has been taken. BDSA not going to get the reset just yet, but Kadui flashes forward now, getting excited. 3 members running for their lives because they know it's over right here, right now. They get caught out with Royson giving over a double kill. Now looking for a third. BDS Academy are on a tear. They're showing that the LFL still have pride, that they will not concede, that this was going to be a close series, at least from how game 1 looks. Skewmon with another. And this is hard to watch.
And you just know that Orbit Anonymous, they said, just play for the steal. Look, I'm not even going to teleport in as the Aurelia. I'm just going to try and cross my tier 2 and hope we get it. We're just going to try and get the Poppy in. Doesn't work out. And BDS, they just run it down mid. Wow.
Yeah. I mean...
That's a 7-0 Jinx.
It's just pretty self-explanatory, isn't it? It is so one-sided.
I think you take red side. I think you have to. And then you have these crazy counter picks. Like, your team is so good at finding these niche pocket picks into like, they were playing Swain.
Afro boy. He's dead.
Oh, no.
It's just stats farming, isn't it?
It is at this point. DPS. Wait, Gypsy?
Did you just ult?
I think it might have been a misclick. Little oopsie.
You'd hope so, because otherwise it's tilt. Let's look at Baron again, I guess.
Afroboy trying his absolute best. Gets hooked away from by Paris. I think he tried to make his way up to the chem plant at the top there next to Baron, but he couldn't quite make it. There comes the flash forward. Kadui can chase him down. Get excited. And Bob is your uncle.
No, his name's Victor, actually. But good try. Good try. Well, this might be another, you know, the other day we had a kick back and relax kind of vibe. It's quarterfinals, but if I'm BDSA, put the kettle on, boys.
You know, I am kind of shocked at how one-sided this is. I didn't think this would be so one-sided, honestly.
We don't need to be game one Andes. You know, judge the whole series off this as but at the moment it looks rough. Hostile takeover, that's a great one. Naramin now has to ult from it as well. Skewmon is here, ready to take out Afro Boy, and again another reset. Kadui is just playing that jinx game where you're like, dude, everyone set up the kills for me and I could have gotten a pentakill, but Rika gets in the way, Skewmon gets in the way, now a turret in the way as well. 18-1. France right now singing Allons-y. If that's not a song, maybe it should be.
This was, I think, about as one-sided as you can get in terms of League of Legends. This is not quite Mad Lions versus T1.
But it's close.
It is close.
Definitely a similar vibe. I think Mad got a lot more kills.
Yeah.
But if this is how the series is going to go, I mean, we are going to be done in an hour. Because this was a massacre. A statement from France. And Ultra League have to pull out all the stops. Let's see how it changes throughout the series. But for now, BDSA are stat farming once again. 21-1. That is domination.
Yeah, domination across the board. Every single lane, individually, macro. I have to shout out Rika for just absolutely